Oṃ nāvavatu, saha bhunaktu, saha vīryam karavāvahai, tejasvinavadhitamastu mā vidvishāvahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May all of us be protected. May all of us be nourished. May all of us do brave work. May our intellect be enlightened by light of knowledge. May there be peace, peace and peace alone. Hello everyone, welcome. I hope you guys can see and hear me clearly. Just give me a confirmation on chat. Okay. So as you can see, there is a little bit of decoration behind me today. Tomorrow is Diwali. It is one of the most auspicious festivals that we have. This whole month and just before Diwali we had Durga Puja, so worship of goddess Durga, and now we have Diwali upcoming tomorrow. Today also is a festival which is called Choti Diwali. In I can translate it to a smaller version of Diwali, which is celebrated just the day before Diwali, and after Diwali we will have worship of goddess Kali, and then there is another festival called Chhat. So just on this day we decorate our houses, dress up, distribute sweets, and the significance of Diwali is that it is celebrated to mark the return of Lord Ram after 15 years. After 15 years, he returned back to his kingdom from the forest. So to celebrate his return, Diwali, everybody decorated their houses with lamps, earthen lamps. At that time, they used earthen lamps everywhere to decorate the whole city, and that was the beginning of Diwali. Another reason why Diwali is celebrated is in southern India. It is celebrated also for a reason that on this same day, Lord Krishna defeated Tarkasur. So yeah, there are multiple significances, multiple reasons to celebrate this festival. This festival marks the victory of righteousness over evil. That's what both the stories where Tarkasur was defeated by Sri Krishna and the return of Sri Ram after defeating Ravan in the forest. Both of these stories signify that. So these kind of festivals remind us of what our forefathers, ancestors have done and what were their values, helps us look back and reevaluate our position. What is our goal? What is our purpose? So yeah, there are a lot of reasons to celebrate these festivals, but we already are pretty much aware of what our purpose is here, and we will resume on our discussion on mantra meditation and practice. We have so far done 2 sessions on mantra meditation. One was with Soham and another
was with Om, but we have still not discussed a lot of basic informations about mantra meditation. So let's quickly discuss some very fundamental things about mantra and mantra meditation, and then we will go into today's practice. So what is mantra? That is the very first question that you may think of. Mantra is defined as manat trayate iti mantraha. That which protects the mind is called mantra. Now you may ask, how does mantra protects the mind? You might also be familiar with another very famous saying that an empty mind is a devil's workshop. So mantra basically gives your mind something to do so that it does not become devil's workshop. That is the very straightforward way how mantra protects our mind. As per the definition, mantra is something which protects the mind. Another meaning of that definition is mantra is something that can take us beyond our minds. The word trayate also gives rise to another word which is which means equivalent to swim, to cross something, tarna or tairna, right? So with that definition, mantra is also something that can take our minds beyond itself, beyond mind. So how does it take our mind beyond the mental plane? How does it take our attention, more accurately if I say, how does it take our attention beyond our mental plane? So when we repeatedly chant mantra, then after a point it becomes very rudimentary, it becomes very effortless. And when it becomes effortless, then your attention is ready to get engaged in other aspects. Other aspects, when I say aspects apart from thinking, analyzing, which are all functions of mind. So that's when your attention becomes sharp enough that it can observe things which are beyond our mental plane. So that is another meaning of the word mantra. But then another question people may ask is, can we create our own mantras? Can we, like a lot of people actually take affirmations and there is one more thing, like affirmation, and there is one more way when you repeat a certain thing in your mind just to instill a particular feeling inside your head. So the idea is why that is not recommended in traditional mantra meditation practice. When I say traditional, it does not mean ancient. Traditional means which is happening at today in present time, but has its roots in the ancient philosophy. And when I say ancient, you can simply say that because people were not aware of those things. But when I say traditional, that means people are aware of all the effects, still choose to do it in a certain way, which is in line with the tradition, in line with the ancient knowledge. So why traditionally it is not recommended to use anything as a mantra is because we understand how mantra gets its power, how mantra actually, how do we decide on what mantra should we use, and how powerful certain mantras are. So if you want to understand how mantra gets its power, you have a couple of reasonings behind that. One is the foremost reasoning is the sound. So every mantra has a particular sound, and that particular sound is supposed to push your attention in certain regions within your body. For example, when you are talking about the bij mantras of chakras, then those sounds are supposed to push your attention at certain points in your body. And when we chant mantras which are associated with certain deities, devatas, and that can also be the word devata is also a very often misunderstood word. We can discuss that also if time permits. But just to understand, when we chant certain mantras which are associated with certain devatas, it basically brings a kind of connection between that entity and ourselves, our own identity. So that is one reason, the sound. And another reason is that a mantra is often chanted in a particular lineage traditionally. So when I say in a particular lineage, means somebody has chanted that mantra throughout his life, and then he has passed that mantra on to his students, and then the student has chanted that mantra throughout his life, and then he has passed it to multiple other students, and then those students have chanted. So we understand that the sound never dies. It fades, it becomes subtler, but it never dies. So when you use a mantra which has been traditionally used by practitioners, then you associate your effort with the effort that they have put when they chanted in their lifetimes. And all of this leads to fruition much faster. That is another reason of using traditional mantras. And there are more reasons why we have most of the mantras in Sanskrit itself, and how Sanskrit and why certain mantras have certain meanings and why certain mantras have no meaning. But we will try to get into more details if we probably in the next session. But for now, we just have to yeah, I'm just explaining some basics here, and we will begin shortly with the meditation. So about mantra, so we understood what is mantra. We understood why we use always certain kinds of Sanskrit based mantras only for chanting, because we associate, we understand that every mantra has a power which comes from its sound, specific sound signature, and from the lineage from where that mantra belongs. So these are the two main reasons. Then there are mantras which has meaning, and some mantras are there which do not have any meaning. Now, whenever we chant a mantra, our brain always tries to somehow put it in autopilot and tries to find other avenues to get itself engaged. And to avoid that, most of the mantras we actually associate some kind of meaning with it. For example, we have practiced so far two different mantras. Soham. Soham, if we have to explain the meaning of it, it basically means I am that. Now, what is the that in that particular statement? I am that. Everybody is aware that I refers to the one who the person identifies with, right? Now, this identification also can have multiple levels, but for now, generally it is the identification part of the self, which is termed as I. But what is that? Now, this that is the true nature of the self. We can say it as the true nature of the self, or we can say the true nature of the existence or the cosmos itself. So in Buddhism, it can be emptiness. In Hinduism, it can be fullness. So it is basically one from where everything else has come into existence. So if out of something, or even if out of nothing, everything else has come into existence, we can obviously call it fullness as well, or wholesomeness. But without going too much into that philosophy, the other mantra that we used was Om. Now, this Om is always written as O and then followed by another alphabet M, OM. But The alphabet O itself is a combination of two different alphabets, A and U, which is not written as AUM, but we understand it as a combination of AUM. AU as O and then M. Now why these three letters? Because these three letters, if I talk in the actual language, these three letters are A, U, Ma. And these three letters signify multiple things. First thing, it signifies the creation, the sustenance, and the destruction of the creation. A for creation, U for sustenance, and Ma for destruction. That's where the sound ends. Ma is the last syllable. That's where it ends, and that's how it signifies. A is the first one, where the sound starts. So it is also associated with three different deities: Brahma for the creation, Vishnu for sustenance, and for destruction, Shiva, Mahesh, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. Apart from that, it also signifies the three different states we go through every day. The state of wakefulness, which we are now. I am awake and you are awake at this point, hopefully. So the state of wakefulness, then the state of dream. When we go to sleep, all of us dream at right before we wake up most of the time. The rapid eye movement state, right? And then the deep sleep state, the non-rapid eye movement state. These three states we always go through. And why we always, the Om, why does it always signifies all these three things, is because our identity is beyond these three states. Our identity, or our existence, is beyond the existence of this cosmos, the creation, the sustenance, the destruction. Our self, or to whom we worship, is beyond the powers of Brahma, beyond the powers of Vishnu, beyond the powers of Mahesh. And our own self is not confined either to wakefulness or to the dream state or to the deep sleep state. And then there is a fourth state, which is called Turiya. Turiya literally means fourth, which is signified by the silence which follows whenever we chant Om. So after Om, there is a small silence. If you are chanting verbally, then there will be a space where you will have to inhale back. That is the silence. That is considered the fourth syllable, the Turiya, which is the actual identity. So without getting too philosophical again in this, today let's start chanting another mantra, which is Oṃ Namaḥ Śivāya. Now, this mantra may not seem secular again because it has the word Shiva, but with the word Shiva, you just have to represents the force of destruction. Now, people may also think that why should we be chanting for something which is the force of destruction? And the reason why we also worship the force of destruction, because the destruction is equally important as creation. Because until something has lost its current form, it cannot transform into a new form. For every new form to appear, its last form has to be destructed. This is the cycle of transformation. You lose something, then only you gain something. So that's why we don't see destruction as a negative connotation. There is no negative connotation with destruction. It's just a process of transformation, of which destruction is a part. So that is one thing. But why specifically do I choose Oṃ Namaḥ Śivāya as the mantra for today's practice is because it is appropriately sized for beginners. Oṃ Namaḥ Śivāya has 5 different syllables. except the word Om. Om is the pranav, which normally always comes in every mantra. But apart from that, it has 5 syllables. Namah Shivaya, which you can attach with your breath. You can put it in some kind of rhythm so that it works with your breath. If you want to put it just like that without using breath as your assistant, it is possible to do that as well with the sound of Om Namah Shivaya. So it is very appropriately sized so that you can easily chant it, you can easily remember the mantra, and then bring it into your practice. So with all that talking, I hope you got some aspects of mantra meditation, mantra itself and the mantra meditation clarified. But we can put a timer of 20 minutes and we will begin the meditation. Before we start, I also want to say that there are 3 different levels on which mantra meditation are practiced. One is by verbalization. So you can actually speak out loud the mantra like Oṃ Namaḥ Śivāya, Oṃ Namaḥ Śivāya. This is the verbalization where you clearly pronounce the word out loud. Then there is a whispering level. So there you don't speak out loud, but you keep your lips movement, but you don't push your voice forth with that force. So it will be something like Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, something like that. And the final is when you chant it completely inside your mind. So not even the lip movement, it will be like, okay, you could not know anything because I was chanting it in my mind. So the idea is for beginners, it is helpful to start chanting verbally. And after some time of verbal chanting, you yourself will find that it is not letting you go any deeper in your meditation. Then you slowly switch into the whispering level. And then after some time, you will also recognize that whispering itself is also not letting you go any further. Then you go back to the mental. And after some time, even mental chanting will become a task. So you just listen to the sound inside of your head as if you are apart from the part of brain which is chanting, like an observer. Just observing, your mind keeps chanting the mantra and you just observe it. So what we will do today is we will just do the mental chanting, okay? Because this is the 3rd session and we have already done some verbalization already. So let's do mental chanting of the mantra Om Namah Shivaya. I'll just write it here in the chat so that those who are not sure of how to pronounce it, they should be able to read it in Roman and should be able to understand how to pronounce it or how to listen to this sound inside their mind. So the sound goes something like Om Namah Shivāya, Om Namah Shivāya, Om Namah Shivāya. So if you listen carefully, it has a particular rhythm. Na 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 na. This rhythm will actually help you get into the meditative state much faster if you follow this rhythm. So with all this information, I will begin the timer, and for 20 minutes, we will close our eyes, sit back straight with your spine, head, and neck erect comfortably. Close your eyes. If you are wearing specs, you can remove the specs. Take a couple of deep breaths and let your body relax. Allow your breathing to take its natural rhythm, not trying to change the breathing pattern in any way. Just relax. We'll quickly scan our body for any kind of tension in any part of the body, and we will allow it to relax, starting from the head, our scalp, all parts of the face, eyes, nose, cheeks, lips, chin, and we will allow our head and face to relax. Keep moving your attention to your neck, chest area, to the belly, on your back, upper back, lower back. Allow your trunk completely to relax. Your right arm, elbow, forearm, wrist, palm, fingers, and your left arm, elbow, forearm, wrist, palm, and fingers. Let go of any tension, any contraction. Let your arms relax. And your right leg, starting from thighs, knees, shin, ankle, foot, toes, and your left leg, left thigh, knee, calf, ankle, heel, foot, toes. Let your whole body relax. Now mentally start chanting the mantra Oṃ Namaḥ Śivāya. In your mind, chant the mantra in the rhythm. Oṃ Namaḥ Śivāya. Oṃ Namaḥ Śivāya. Oṃ Namaḥ Śivāya. Oṃ Namaḥ Śivāya. Keep going. As you notice your mind wandering, gently bring it back to the mantra. Use the mantra with the rhythm. Oṃ Namaḥ Śivāya. 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 Keep chanting mentally. Allow it to play in your mind as if a song, and just keep listening to the sound. Oṃ Namaḥ Śivāya. Oṃ Namaḥ Śivāya. Oṃ Namaḥ Śivāya. Oṃ Namaḥ Śivāya. Keep chanting in your mind with the rhythm. As soon as you recognize your attention has wandered away, bring it back to the mantra. Bring back the rhythm. Oṃ Namaḥ Śivāya. Oṃ Namaḥ Śivāya. Oṃ Namaḥ Śivāya. Oṃ Namaḥ Śivāya. And continues in your mind. Just keep listening to this sound repeatedly. Join your palm at your heart center. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinaḥ. Sarve santu niramayaः. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Ma kaśchit dukha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May the benefit of our practice be shared by all. May every being on this planet experience some joy, happiness, and peace. May all be happy. May all be healthy. May all see good. May nobody ever suffer. May there be peace, peace, and peace alone. Rub your palm against each other and cup your eyes with the warmth on the palm. And gently open your eyes. Sit comfortably for a minute or so and just observe your body, your mind. How do you feel at this very moment? Okay. That was today's meditation. And if anyone wants to share any experience or has any doubt in whatever we have discussed, they can ask or they can share their experience now. You can raise your hand and you will be invited to speak on the stage. So in each session, in each mantra meditation session, we are exploring different aspects of mantra meditation. In the very first session, I would like to put the differentiation in all this session here clearly for people to understand what we have done so far. In the very first session, we used the mantra Soham, where we connected it with our breathing and we demonstrated how we can use mantra in connection with the breathing for rhythm. And in the second session, we chose the mantra Om, and we did not connect it with any kind of rhythm, either by breathing or by the rhythm of the sound itself. We only focused on the inherent sound of the mantra itself and saw that how that sound itself can elongate and fill our complete session. And in this session, where we used Oṃ Namaḥ Śivāya, we explored how the mantra as a whole can have its own rhythm, and that rhythm can play out in our mind just like our favorite song and pull us deeper and deeper within meditation. There is one more aspect of mantra meditation that we will be discussing in the next session, which deals with using counting beats. So counting beat is always associated with chanting. So we will also see how we can use counting beats, and if we don't have counting beats, how we can use just our fingers to keep track of how many counts we have done. So we'll just see that in the next session, and then probably if we can continue after that, we can continue some sessions where each person can take up any mantra and do their mental chanting for that mantra for a couple of sessions. We will just do it together. So we'll start together and we'll finish together, and anybody can take whatever mantra they find pleasurable, and we can just do it all together. That said, if there is no speaker other than me here, then we can call this the end of the session. Thank you everyone for joining. I know that it was longer than expected, and because we had to deal with some of the basic fundamental theories of this so that you understand what you are doing. The importance of knowing a little bit of theory behind the practice is so that if you are going to adopt any of these practices in your daily life, then you should not get confused when somebody else comes up and says something else about the practice itself, and your practice should not change. There should not be any confusion. When you are aware of some theory, some reasons behind what you do, why you do, and why you do it in a certain way, then it puts you in a position of great confidence, which is very much required for any practice to be successful. So thank you everyone again, and see you all next week.